Good evening and welcome to Newshour Agenda. I'm Madhavdas G. There seems to be no end to trouble for Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and other AAP leaders facing charges in the Delhi excise scam case. Enforcement Directorate has today informed the Delhi High Court that they would be naming Aam Aadmi Party as an accused in the Liquorgate case when they file their next charge sheet. Now, this is the first time that the probe agency has categorically said so. However, the possibility of ED making Aam Aadmi Party an accused was hinted at by the probe agency during one of the proceedings in a Delhi court in March. The ED had then invoked vicarious liability of the Chief Minister and referred to Aam Aadmi Party as PMLA accused. The step that ED is going to take will have larger implications as Aam Aadmi Party will be tried as an accused and all its accounts will be scrutinized. The onus would also be on the National Party to prove that it is a political party and not a company. This is further going to increase trouble for Aam Aadmi Party's national convener, Kejriwal, as ED can also attach assets of AAP. In case AAP is convicted in the Liquorgate case, then other parties can demand derecognition under the Representation of People's Act. BJP, meanwhile, is claiming that our CM is liable as convener of the party, that is the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. AAP's India Bloc allies, however, have trained guns at the BJP and have alleged misuse of agencies to divert attention during polls.
There are proofs on record that all those funds which were gathered by illicit means in Delhi were routed for elections in Goa and other states also. This will lead to freezing of the accounts of the Aam Aadmi Party, and also Election Commission can de-recognize the party. Now, Aam Aadmi Party leader Mr. Kejriwal need to answer a lot on this, that how he misused the fund.
देखिए, मोदी सरकार में कोई कानून तो रहा नहीं, कोई संवैधानिक व्यवस्था रही नहीं, कोई संस्थाएं निष्पक्ष रही नहीं। तो मोदी जी अपने कानून से देश को चलाना चाहते हैं, प्रजातंत्र को चलाना चाहते हैं। इस देश को गुमराह करने का जो प्रयास हो रहा है, मुद्दे इनके पास है नहीं, मुद्दे की चर्चा करना नहीं चाहते। तो जब मुद्दे नहीं है, मुद्दे की चर्चा नहीं है, मुद्दे पर वोट मांगने की हिम्मत नहीं है, तो फिर इस तरह के सब जिस तरह के वो ढूंढते रहते हैं।
All right, big breaking news coming in. The ED investigation in the alleged excise scam is more or less over. Sources say they want trial to start so that charges can be framed against all accused as named in the prosecution complaints as early as possible. ED claims that it has conclusively established a money trail and proceeds of crime which was used by the party to fund its Goa campaign. Let's take this across to Madhavdas Singh because, Madhavdas, we've seen time and again the Aam Aadmi Party vehemently denies such charges as far as the 2-year-long ED probe is concerned. And in fact, the biggest point of contention time and again has been whether a money trail has been established or not.
Well, Madhav, there is no case that has courted more controversy and scrutiny than this alleged excise scam. And what sources have told Times Now is that their probe in the excise scam is now more or less over. In next few days, they will be filing this prosecution complaint, and that prosecution complaint, as you rightly said, will be filed against Delhi's Chief Minister and National Convener of Aam Aadmi Party, Arvind Kejriwal, and also against Aam Aadmi Party. For the first time, a political party will be named as an accused. Having said that, ED also wants charges to be framed against all 34 accused and entities who have been named in this case. Remember, most of the accused are now asking the Delhi High Court and Supreme Court to give them bail because they have been incarcerated for a very long time, and they said that bail is their due. And even in the Delhi High Court, Manish Sisodia's counsel had said that bail should be given to them. ED on its part had said that the delaying tactics are being adopted by the accused in this case. Now, ED wants the trial to start so that charges can be framed. But the all-important news that we are broking for our viewers is that ED has now said that the trial, or at least the investigation in this case, is now over, and the final charge sheet in this case will be filed very soon.
Thanks so much, Madhavdas, for bringing us that big news update. Madhavdas Singh, news editor, in fact, bring us all those details as far as the investigation is concerned. We will, of course, go back to him for more as and when the updates keep coming in, but very big because clearly this means that the trial process is going to begin very soon. Let's now go across to our guest.
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
All right, let's go across to RP Singh, BJP national spokesperson, joining us on the show. We also have Suhail Seth, columnist, joining us. Tehseen Poonawala, political analyst, is with us. Abhishek Sudhir, lawyer and political analyst, also with us. Let me come to you first, Abhishek. This is going to be perhaps for the first time that a political party is going to be named as an accused. Along with the legal precedents, there's also the possibility that, with this kind of an action taking place for the first time, that perhaps there could be recommendations, for instance, for further action on the Aam Aadmi Party itself. Over and above the Liquorgate scam, this has huge implications for Aam Aadmi Party as well as other opposition parties.
Yeah, well, Madhav, there's a legal aspect to this and a political aspect. I'll just come to the legal aspect first. The Section 70 of the PMLA provides that companies can be charged for money laundering. And in an explanation to Section 70, it also goes on to say that companies can include firms and associations of individuals. What the Enforcement Directorate is seeking to do is rely on this phraseology, association of individuals, to argue that a political party can be construed as a company, and Arvind Kejriwal, the CEO of said political party or company. Now, the legal veracity of this, is this sustainable? We will need an authoritative pronouncement from the Supreme Court. The Delhi High Court has held that a political party can be brought under the ambit of the PMLA. But the Supreme Court has not ruled on this matter. But there was a stray observation made by Justices Khanna and Dipankar Datta, where they said that you have not been able to really demonstrate in the evidence so far that Arvind Kejriwal or Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh, Satyendra, what have you, have personally benefited or laundered the proceeds of crime in the case. So the ED, in response, has done this. They've probably not going to be able to prove that the political leaders themselves have personally benefited. So they're going to try and bring in the Aam Aadmi Party as a political entity.
But wasn't
and
this
state
question,
that the proceeds
Abhishek,
of crime were laundered,
Abhishek, wasn't
not
this
by
question
individuals,
first
but by the
raised
party?
during the course of a proceeding where the Supreme Court itself asked the ED, are you going to make the Aam Aadmi Party an accused or not? So the ED can very well claim that it was on the basis of a query of the court that we perhaps proceeded in that line.
Correct, but you will have to file a writ petition, and I am certain that the Aam Aadmi Party will file a writ petition before the Supreme Court for an authoritative pronouncement on whether a political party can be brought under the ambit of PMLA.
Okay.
What I would say, Madhav, if you remember on April 15th on your program, I told you that the Supreme Court will grant relief to Arvind Kejriwal, and I'll be the first to say he should resign if they don't grant relief. They granted that relief in the form of interim bail on Friday. Clearly, the ED has woken up, and the ED now realizes that the Supreme Court is not going to rubber stamp their bail applications. The ED has realized that they have to bring the case to trial, and clearly the ED is going to have a tough time bringing cases or charges against individual leaders. They've brought in the party as a whole, and coming to the political aspect of it.
One by one. We'll come to the politics. Now, we'll come to the politics. You've raised some legal points. Let me bring in the legal aspects of the BJP. And Abhishek Sudhir, you're right. You did say that about the Supreme Court, but the time frame that you said was rather different from the time frame that the court took. Nevertheless, I'm going to put that question across to RP Singh of the BJP. And RP Singh, the question here is this, that at the end of the day, the Supreme Court has to clarify whether the PMLA and all the sections are relevant to a political party, because the interpretation of what is a company can be different. That is the point being made here by Abhishek Sudhir. And also, the Supreme Court, when it had made those comments, had the next day clarified that this was not to implicate anyone or any political party. RP Singh.
Well, Madhav, till that time Supreme Court decided, you have to go by what High Court has said. I mean, until someone goes and challenges that in the Supreme Court, whatever has been pronounced by the High Court, and High Court has said political party can be brought under PMLA, PMLA Kejriwal would be liable for affairs of AAP under Section 71. Thus the High Court of Delhi in April, early April. So, and thereafter, court also asked the ED, why are you not proceeding under the PMLA against Aam Aadmi Party also, as a party which can be treated as a company also. Now, if there is anything else, they can go to court and challenge that. Mr. Learned lawyer can go to court and help Aam Aadmi Party to challenge that. They pay very good fee. They pay fee from our pocket. They will pay you good fee from our resources. Plus, do go and help them. But coming to the basic issue, there are proof and track records of the bank accounts with the ED, which is part of the ED's charge sheet which they have filed earlier, and there are records of how Angdis were used altogether into 45 crore rupees, and there are also evidences of the people who received the money, the contestants who received the money. They have also filed their applications on that account, saying that they have received the money. So this is a foolproof case, but let's see how does it turn out. But yes, money was earned from illicit mean, was transacted through Angdis or the Hawala operators to Goa for elections, and was given to the candidates there, and this is all on record of the ED. One more thing I have to add, just one more thing.
Quickly.
You remember in Gujarat, there was a gentleman, Rajinder Singh Solanki, was caught. Give me a second. Just 5 seconds. Rajinder Singh Solanki was caught red-handed with a huge tranche of money, and he said, "This is not my money. This is a driver who gets this money. Please hold him responsible." And there is still a case going on. And the driver said that he is a Angdi between the Delhi party and the Gujarat party, and money is transferred.
We got that point. Then let me bring in Tehseen Punawala. Tehseen Punawala, the use of Hawala operators or Angadias as is being referred to by RP Singh, that is a point that has come up before in this particular case. And of course, we certainly will have to see what is the kind of evidence that the ED presents in its next supplementary charge sheet or prosecution complaint, as it's called technically, where the role of the Aam Aadmi Party is specified. Thus far, we know that money to the tune of about 45 crores was used in the election campaign, which the ED has claimed in the past that this is the kickbacks received from the entire Liquorgate scam. Will the Aam Aadmi Party be able to distance from this is a big question.
So, Madhav, good evening. Thank you for having me on the show. Let me answer this legally before I just bring in a political aspect. What eco hai? Please eco ko theek kar dijiye. Madhav, first of all, this is diversionary tactics by the Enforcement Directorate. This won't uphold in court. Like the first speaker said, Aam Aadmi Party will file a writ petition and it will be thrown out of the, and this charge sheet will be thrown out. It's absolutely ridiculous, it's rubbish, and it cannot uphold. Just imagine a situation, just leave Aam Aadmi Party, because there's a bias against Aam Aadmi Party. This debate also, no, you're not biased, nor is the debate, but the debate is against Aam Aadmi Party. Leave them out for a second. Let's now imagine the Morbi bridge that collapsed. The Ajanta owners had given BJP money. So now we're going to prosecute BJP in Bardem because the bridge collapsed and people died. And then who's going to go in jail? Nadda ji. What are we doing? Can political parties in a democracy work like that? Let's assume Congress. So Kharge ji will go in jail. How do you prove this? What is going on? And you say this 45 crores that has come in Aam Aadmi Party was spent in Goa. If you had that money trail, why that money trail not submitted for Arvind Kejriwal where you have zero? Charges. See, this is, Yaar, Madhav, I can't debate this way. You have to moderate it. You have to ask the guy to calm down.
Who's stopping you? Go make your point.
Let the viewers hear it. But tell him not to shout in between, please, RP Singh ji. He can object after I finish. Look, the larger point that we are trying to make is political parties cannot be involved. It doesn't work like that. Proceeds of crime have gone to a political party and therefore the presidents will be prosecuted or somebody else will go into jail. Let's assume now hypothetically a national party, Congress or BJP. Let's say the Gujarat unit of the BJP or the Maharashtra or the Karnataka unit of the Congress have taken some money. Their treasurer, they put money in, it was used in some local thing. Who do you prosecute, the national party or the state unit?
Okay.
What is going on? You know that this is diversionary, it won't uphold.
Okay,
what
it's
is
a diversionary
issue? Okay,
you made 2 or 3 points. Let me bring in RP Singh on that. RP Singh, point number 1, this is diversionary. All of this is happening in the midst of polls. It's an attempt to divert. Point number 2, if you start this precedent, then perhaps all your political rivals and perhaps even the BJP, etc., would be liable to this, where the party's leadership and those who are running the party would be liable for prosecution at this rate, and that would open up a huge can of worms, because who's to say where agencies will be used, misused, etc., to try and finish off the political rivals is a question essentially that Tehseen Punawala is asking.
Well, Tehseen Punawala has no faith in the court. The court has said so. We are not. ED is only proceeding as per the court order. But that point aside, I mean, this has been proven that illicit money was earned, and it's Tehseen Punawala's favorite party, Congress party's leaders have accused, not only accused, have said that ये साबित हो गया, इट हैज बीन माखन साहब स्टेटमेंट, ये साबित हो चुका है कि 100 करोड़ रुपए का घोटाला तो हुआ है, out of which 45 crore have been traced, and that 45 crore rupees has gone to the contestants in Goa, and that money has routed from Delhi to Goa. That is also on record. Now, let Mr. Poonawalla can also help Mr. Kejriwal, like Mr. Abhishek Manu Singh, and help him to get a bail or probably wash away the sins which they have done. But fact is, let's wait for the court order, and let's wait for the agency to bring all the evidence in the court. We are not the court. Neither Mr. Poonawalla, neither you, neither other gentleman is a court here. Let court decide. Let agency give us document and evidence in the court, and it will be proven in the court. But evidently, it seems that yes, the money has transacted and money has exchanged hand between Delhi liquor vendors and the Delhi Aam Aadmi Party and Goa Party.
Yeah, let me bring in fact, Abhishek on a simple point. Abhishek, you know, there are, of course, political charges that you can make as far as the agencies are concerned, as far as the central government is concerned. But look at what's happened from an image of Kattar Imandar to at least 4, political leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party behind bars. Of course, some of them have obtained bail, as you rightly said earlier, Sanjay Singh as well as Arvind Kejriwal. Arvind Kejriwal, of course, interim bail for 21 days to campaign in these elections. Somewhere or the other, is there a view that the Aam Aadmi Party has gone full circle? The kind of charges that they used to level against the Congress Party, demanding immediate resignations while flashing documents, somewhere or the other, that's come back to bite them.
Well, you're speaking about perception. At the end of the day, we look at the electoral bonds case, Madhav. Sharath Reddy, who's one of the key accused and now turned approver in the so-called liquor scam, has donated some 60 crore rupees to the BJP. Now, that would be a ripe case for the Enforcement Directorate to actually name the BJP as an accused in that case, and whereby JP Nadda would be held liable as the national president of the BJP. You take the case of Sudhakar in Karnataka, former health minister. He calls up a election commission poll officer and says, please release my money, some several crores of rupees, which was seized just outside Bangalore in Yelahanka, where you have a former health minister of the BJP admitting that wads of cash belong to him. Madhav, if the Enforcement Directorate targets everybody equally, nobody will make political charges. We had the former justice who was instrumental in India against corruption as well, Justice Santosh Hegde. He says, for example, it's okay if the Enforcement Directorate targets only the opposition, because at least 50% of the so-called politicians are being held accountable. What kind of logic is this? An institution has to work, it has to wear a blindfold, it cannot look at party symbols. Okay. If you're going to charge the Aam Aadmi Party for taking money from Sharath Reddy, then charge the BJP for also taking money from Sharath Reddy. It's a simple point, Madhav.
Okay, Tushar Gupta.
Isn't this hypocritical?
Tushar Gupta is joining us on the debate, political analyst. Tushar Gupta, would you like to take that question? That if there is, evidence of Sharath Reddy as far as the political bonds is concerned, the electoral bonds are concerned, then why is ED turning a blind eye to that? You cannot have one yardstick for opposition political parties and a different yardstick for the ruling party. Please respond to Abhishek Sudhir's question.
Good evening, Madhav. Madhav, I was hoping that the Aam Aadmi Party spokespersons or whoever they are represented by would be very happy about the health of institutions, because just last week they were hailing the judiciary for the bail that was given to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal on the grounds that he needs to campaign for the Lok Sabha elections. The same bail was denied to Chief Minister Hemant Soren, who's also a tribal leader. I thought that they would be very happy with the health of the investigating agencies when Sanjay Singh was given bail. They can smile now, but Mr. Sudhir doesn't understand that the entire party is not being implicated for some electoral...
Enforcement Directorate...
One by one, please. One by one.
Clearly stated, ED has
one by one. Abhishek, one by one. Nobody interrupted you, please. Let him make... He's just come into the debate. Let him make his point.
ED has clearly stated that they have thousands of pages of evidence that they're going to produce before the court. Their investigation is more or less over, which was one of the complaints, by the way, of the Aam Aadmi Party, that why is the ED taking so long for the investigation? Does it have something to do with the timing of the elections and so forth? So the ED is saying, here is the evidence, look at it. And I'm sure the Congress, or rather the Aam Aadmi Party's lawyers, which are also former Congress leaders, they'll study the documents, they'll study the evidence, and then make a case before the courts. It's not very convenient, for anyone to just label the health of the institutions or say, oh, the institutions or the investigating
Abhishek wanted to respond to you and then I'll go across to Tehseen. Yes, Abhishek.
Sharath Reddy. Please ask him for any comments on Sharath Reddy. Key accused in the so-called liquor scam has given 60 crores in electoral bonds to the BJP. No comments on Sharath Reddy? No comments on Sharath Reddy? Charge the Aam Aadmi Party, but also investigate the money given by Sharath Reddy, key accused in the liquor scam, to the BJP.
Okay, Tushar.
And very subsequently gets bail after donating crores.
Mr. Sudhir, you are the lawyer here. If you have ample evidence that Sharath Reddy has given certain amount of money to any party and that is somehow related to the investigation that is being carried against the Aam Aadmi Party, you're very free to file an investigation. Last I recall, you're very happy to throw it around your legal credentials. So might as well put them to some use for a change.
Okay, let me bring in fact, Tehseen for a quick closing comment. Tehseen, two interesting points I just want to put forth. As far as this Goa aspect, Goa poll campaign funding allegation that has been made, at this point of time, obviously it's an allegation that the ED is making, where the kickbacks of the Liquorgate scam were allegedly used. This was noted in a Delhi High Court order. What's also been submitted by the ED in one of its affidavits is that it's not the ED itself, but the IT which first unearthed this. So it's is it possible that, the income tax which unearths this use of 45 crores in, say, hawala or cash or whatever the mode of payment be, then that matter has been, so it's not one agency, but two agencies essentially which have obviously gone through this kind of evidence that is available. Tehseen.
Yeah, but how does that matter? Look, we are again diverting. We're missing the woods for the trees. As the earlier speaker said about P. Sarath Chandra Reddy. P. Sarath Chandra Reddy is a money launderer as per ED. But he wasn't a money launderer when he gave the Aam Aadmi Party money. That money was used as per the ED to frame a policy, and the Aam Aadmi Party framed a policy. So, okay, cool, put Arvind Kejriwal in jail. But after he became a money launderer and was involved in money laundering, after he became that, through electoral bonds he gave the BJP money. After which he becomes from an accuser and approver and gets bail. So this is a clear case of quid pro quo. So by the same logic of Arvind Kejriwal ji being in jail, JP Nadda ji should be in jail. It's the exact same case. Why does that same not apply? That is the answer no one's answering. Okay. In the Morbi case, those who build a bridge have been donating to the BJP. People have died on that bridge. Again, I'm asking, why is that not the case? Where are the owners of that Ajanta company?
Okay. So would you like to respond to that, RP Singh?
In Gujarat again. There were 50 people. So again, what I'm trying to say is, if one rule holds true for Arvind Kejriwal, should hold true for...
Okay, same rule should apply to all parties. All right, got your point. RP Singh.
Madhav, Mr. Tehseen Poonawalla is spreading lies on your channel. He's using your channel to spread lies. There's nothing to do with Morbi and the Ajanta thing. The party has not taken any fund from the Ajanta.
Okay, talk about this one.
Whatever company he's naming. One. Secondly, as for Sharath Reddy goes, I never interrupted you. Please, I heard you patiently. Stop haggling. And also on Sharath Reddy's part, they have tried their best in the court. Court has turned down their appeal. Court said it has nothing to do with the proceeding of the case, and has said that donations has nothing to do with the proceeding of the case. They went to the court with the same pretext, and Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi tried his best in the court, but court turned it down.
All right. Let's leave it there for the moment. Certainly, of course, a lot of back and forth. Ultimately, what will the ED submit in the court? What view will the courts take to those submissions of the Enforcement Directorate? All of this is subject matter of debate. But I'd like to thank our panelists for joining us, Tushar Gupta as well as Tehseen Poonawalla, RP Singh and Abhishek Sudhir. Stay with us for debate number 2 on the Newshour Agenda.